Why does it take 10 years to become an overnight success? Put out a song, you put out a video, a music video, you put out a piece of content that you really believe in, it gets 1 million views and you think something should have happened by now. You keep working, you keep posting, but there's something underneath everything that feels like it's stopping you. Time feels like your enemy, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. It's not time blocking you. Time is doing the work for you. Think about it like this. Time is the substance that we move through. Like a fish through water, you don't escape time. You're shaped by it. And art can't exist without time around it. And most artists want impact first before they have structure. They want recognition before they have identity. So the years and years of grinding just feel like an uphill battle and noisy, and the ego and the expectation and the blind confidence, the hope. It's not wrong. That's how you start. But there's a pattern that I keep seeing in artists where they go, phase one is just that blind belief in themselves that gets them through the first year or two. And then phase two is they hit friction after a few years. And this is where most people leave the industry or give up. A song misses, a comment stings too much, someone better shows up or blows up before you, and you start to ask yourself, is this a sign? Instead, what you should be asking yourself is, what is this trying to teach me? And how is this shaping me as an artist? Think about a movie like Lord of the Rings. If Frodo left the Shire and solved everything immediately at his first stop on his journey, that's not a myth, that's not a story, that's not a great story, that's not a movie, that's a weekend trip. He has to walk, he has to lose, he has to carry the weight. The ring doesn't make him, time does. The miles do. The fatigue does. Without that struggle, there's absolutely no hero. And we need to get into our heads as artists that the journey isn't delaying reward. The journey creates the impact, and that's art. Time isn't waiting, time is the environment. Because when your songs start to stack up, when your at-bats, your attempts start to stack up, mistakes eventually stack up, but also the things that you learn stack up. And eventually, there's this foundation that you have. And overnight successes are honestly mostly just misunderstood. Look at somebody like the rock artist YUNGBLUD. To many, he just kind of appeared over the last year or two, but he didn't. I've been following his career for years now, and he's been playing in tiny rooms when he didn't have much of a budget, making music videos with his friends, years of community, years of building his own music festival, and years of pressure that shaped him. Because when he stands beside legends like Ozzy Osbourne, Aerosmith, Smashing Pumpkins, he doesn't shrink because he's been forged. That's confidence. It isn't arrogance, it's compression. Years pressed into a person. Now let's look at the other side of this. There are artists who rise really fast. They get a bunch of money, they get a bunch of exposure, and they don't fail from a lack. They fail from skipping the years that will shape them. The years that teach you how to be on stage. The years that teach you how to sing when you don't have in-ears. The years that teach you what to do when a fan yells something bad at you in the crowd. To hold that pressure. And now sure, mentors can help, teams can help, but no one can give you those years. And that's why 5 to 10 years to become an overnight success isn't cruel. It's actually precise. There's time for you to build your taste, to catch your abilities, time for the ego to quiet, time for the work to unify. And consistency here isn't just discipline, it's devotion. Showing up every day, even though people don't see it, after years and years and years. So if you're early or you're deep in the middle, nothing feels like it's happening. The truth is, nothing visible is happening right now, but everything necessary is. And those years aren't about winning. They're about durability. Because talent, yeah, it can get you attention, but endurance decides who stays and who ultimately will give up. And 5 to 10 years is identity forming. Because once the initial ambition fades, most people end up leaving. They mistake quiet failures, and delay means that they're wrong, but delay is actually part of the process. And all of the artists that you admire didn't arrive faster. They stayed around long enough for it to work. They let time do its thing. So if you're still out there and you're still making, you're still caring, you're still putting stuff out into the world, you're not behind. You're actually exactly where you should be. And the question isn't when. It's can you stay long enough to become the person that it actually happens to? Because nothing about this is instant. But if you give it the years it asks for, the world will eventually catch up And when it does, it won't feel overnight. It'll feel earned. But to the world, to the outside perspective, it'll look overnight. And when you do get that success, you'll be able to hold that weight, and you'll be able to be quiet, and you'll be able to be really you. It'll feel like earned recognition. Quiet, real, the kind that only comes after you've proven that you weren't going anywhere. So that's why it takes 5 to 10 years to become an overnight success. So get out there and keep creating, because you're on the path. You're a fish in water. Keep swimming.